After a long day at work, Heiko, Herrmann and Herrmann arrive at their local bar. But the mood is anything but upbeat. Schaeffler's uncertain future dominates the conversation. With the workforce on short time, business is also suffering at the bar. The owner says that they're now taking in 35% less on Fridays. Much of the anger is directed at Schaeffler's owner.
She'll just have to get through it, like me. She should be more concerned with what's happening in her firm. It's not just my fate, it's his and 220,000 other people's.
From the outside, it looks like business as usual at Schaeffler's Schweinfurt production plant. But for the two Schaeffler employees, everything's changed. They say last summer's takeover bid for Continental amounted to megalomania. Their colleagues in the foundry also fear what the future might hold. Production in the automotive division has been cut by a quarter. 20,000 Schaeffler employees are working a shorter week. It's time for belt tightening. Workers at the aviation division say it's only a matter of time before production is cut there as well.
I'm disappointed, because all the time they've been saying things are on the up, and then suddenly they announced there was less work, almost no work left. So it's not easy for us all.
Schaeffler's total debt is now 22 billion euros. Herrmann and Heiko Herrmann find it hard to imagine such a sum. Workers' representatives have also been left speechless by the developments. Herrmann has just become a father for the second time. In some cases, entire families work for Schaeffler.
You're powerless. There are no options. You can't go there and say, listen, do this, and then everything will be all right. This is for better or worse. You have to rely on headquarters to get things right, so that we can carry on with our jobs.
The head of the Works Council says he hasn't slept well for weeks. He recently wrote an open letter to the German government asking for help in a last-ditch attempt to avert the worst. He says the blame lies with the company's management for not having a plan B.
Who's going to save us? Have I got some security somewhere, or a white knight who will jump in as an investor? Or do we have safeguards on the banking side of things so we can survive the crisis? We don't have either of those things. It comes down to responsibility, and it was a huge mistake not to consider these things.
There was no way we could have seen this coming. It wasn't a management failure. And as far as the Continental takeover is concerned, once you've started the process, it's impossible to back out of it for legal reasons.
Management says the takeover was the right strategy and that they couldn't have foreseen the impact of the economic crisis. But that's little consolation for the Works Council. Norbert Lenhard has called a meeting of all employee representatives. They want to do everything in their power to prevent layoffs.
The family of owners that spent 60 years building up this business faces a personal tragedy when this is over. But still, that won't help the employees much. Their livelihoods are at stake, and that is much worse.
Parts of the company have now been put up for sale. It's the latest shock for Herrmann and Heiko Herrmann. Their division could now be sold off, meaning more uncertainty and a bleak future.